Hey everybody, SamiVapor Studios here, and welcome back to another LEGO review. Today, we're taking a look at a small but rather charming addition to the LEGO Star Wars lineup, the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike, set number 75436. Now, I'll be honest, when I first saw this set, I wasn't expecting anything groundbreaking. It's only 58 pieces. It's a relatively small build, and it's clearly aimed at younger builders, but that's not a big deal. Sometimes, these smaller LEGO Star Wars sets can end up being surprisingly enjoyable. They're quick to build, they don't take up much shelf space, and they can still pack a lot of personality into a tiny package. Of course, it doesn't hurt that this set includes two of the most popular characters in modern Star Wars, the Mandalorian himself and Grogu, otherwise known as Baby Yoda if you're one of the few people on the internet who still calls him that. So, in today's video, we're going to take a look at the packaging, build the set together, check out the speeder bike, examine the minifigures, and go over the play features, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on whether this little LEGO Star Wars set is worth picking up. So, grab your Beskar armor, make sure Grogu is securely seated, and let's get this started. Looking at the front of the box, for first impressions, honestly, this is a nice, clean-looking little set with some really eye-catching artwork. Right up in the top left, you've got the classic LEGO logo sitting right next to the bold Star Wars branding, all placed over a cool blue LEGO brick background. Over on the top right, there's the artwork of the Mandalorian's helmet alongside Grogu, instantly letting you know exactly which corner of the Star Wars universe that this set comes from. And just below that, on the left-hand side, you've got the recommended age rating of 6+, the set number 75436, and the official name, the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike. The main artwork takes center stage, showing Din Djarin speeding across a dusty desert landscape on the speeder bike with Grogu traveling alongside with him. The background features rocky mountains fading into the distance, giving the impression that they're racing across the remote planet straight out of the TV series, which is something that I love about this artwork. The speeder itself is shown kicking up plenty of dust, making the scene feel surprisingly dynamic for such a compact LEGO set. Down in the bottom left corner, LEGO proudly tells you that you're getting exactly 58 pieces, so this is clearly designed as a quick and accessible build that's perfect for younger builders or anyone wanting a small display piece. And finally, in the bottom right, there's a little character showcase featuring the included minifigures, Grogu and the Mandalorian, with Din shown holding his blaster. It's a nice little preview of exactly what's waiting for you inside the box. Overall, it's a simple but attractive front design that immediately communicates what you're getting, who the set is based on, and delivers that unmistakable LEGO Star Wars presentation. Flipping the box over, LEGO gives you a much closer look at what this little set has to offer, and despite its modest 58-piece count, there's much more going on here than you might expect. Taking center stage is the completed speeder bike, shown from a different angle so that you can appreciate all of its little details built into the design. It's a compact build, but the exposed pipes, handlebars, and subtle color accents help capture the rugged, worn-in look of the vehicle from the Mandalorian TV series. Standing proudly beside it is the Mandalorian himself, blaster in hand and firing a bright red laser bolt, while Grogu stands in front looking as adorable as ever in his tiny tan robes. It's a simple scene, but one that immediately brings the characters to life. In the top right corner, LEGO includes a close-up feature panel that highlights Grogu's seating position on the speeder, giving you a much better look at how he's securely integrated into the build. It's a nice little touch that younger builders and collectors alike will appreciate. There's also a small graphic on the right-hand side featuring a finger and curved arrow, demonstrating one of the play features and encouraging a bit of hands-on interaction rather than just static display. The sandy backdrop and familiar desert-style buildings in the distance reinforce the Star Wars atmosphere, making the whole presentation feel like a snapshot straight from the show, rather than a simple product showcase. Overall, The back of the box does exactly what it should. It highlights the set's playability, gives you a much better look at the included characters and build features as well. And it makes this tiny LEGO Star Wars set feel full of personality despite its small size. But enough admiring the box art because, let's be honest, that's not why we're here. It's time to crack open this thing and actually start building. Now, one thing I've always liked about these smaller Star Wars sets is that they're just relaxing. You don't need to set aside an entire afternoon, clear your schedule, or prepare yourself for a 3,000-piece marathon that'll leave your back aching and your fingers questioning every life decision that you've ever made. Instead, you open the bag, you pour out the pieces, and before you know it, you've actually got something taking shape in front of you. As someone who makes YouTube videos, these little builds are honestly perfect. They're quick to put together, easy to film, and they're ideal for making a fun 10-minute video without spending 4 hours trying to find that one tiny 1x1 piece that somehow launched itself into another dimension. There's also something really satisfying about seeing the speeder gradually come together piece by piece. Even though it's a small set, it still has enough interesting details to keep the build engaging without ever feeling repetitive or complicated. And before you know it, you're snapping on the final few pieces, placing Grogu in his little spot, handing Din Djarin his blaster, and suddenly, you've got a complete little scene sitting on your desk. So, with all that said, let's take a look at the finished result. And there we have it, the build is finally complete. Now I know what some of you people might be thinking, it's only 58 pieces. Surely there isn't too much to talk about, right? Well, surprisingly, LEGO has managed to squeeze quite a bit of Star Wars charm into this tiny package. And while it might not be the biggest or most detailed set in the galaxy, it does a great job at capturing the spirit of the Mandalorian. Let's start with the main attraction, the speeder bike itself. At first glance, the overall shape immediately screams the Mandalorian. It has that long, low-profile design, the extended front section, and the exposed mechanical tubing running along the sides. Those curved grey bars do a lot of the heavy lifting visually, helping to give the bike that rugged, cobbled-together Star Wars appearance. I also really like the colour scheme. The mix of light grey, dark grey, tan, and dark red gives the bike a weathered, hard-working look, as though it spent years blasting across dusty planets rather than sitting pristine in a showroom somewhere. What's particularly impressive is how recognisable the vehicle is despite the low piece count. LEGO could have easily simplified things too much, but they've managed to include just enough detail to make it instantly identifiable. The build itself is quick, but never boring. Because the set is so compact, every few pieces noticeably changes the shape of the model. You're constantly seeing progress, which makes the whole building experience feel rewarding from start to finish. One thing I especially enjoyed was how the front section comes together. The handlebars and front detailing give the bike a sense of movement, even when it's standing still. It almost looks like it's ready to tear across the desert at a moment's notice. Despite it being a very small set, there are still a couple of nice play features here. The Mandalorian can comfortably grip the handlebars while riding the speeder, and LEGO has included a dedicated space for Grogu to travel alongside him. It's a simple feature, but one that instantly recreates the dynamic between two characters from the show. Not every LEGO set needs spring-loaded shooters, hidden compartments, or dozens of moving parts. Sometimes, simplicity works best, and that's exactly the approach LEGO has taken here. The bike is also surprisingly sturdy. Younger builders should have no trouble picking it up and zooming it around the room without bits constantly falling off. And of course, no Mandalorian set would be complete without the characters themselves. While the speeder bike is the main build here, the minifigures are arguably what many collectors will be most interested in. Let's take a closer look at them. First up, we have the Mandalorian, also known as Din Djarin. For a relatively inexpensive set, this is a fantastic minifigure. The silver helmet immediately catches the eye, while the torso printing does a great job at recreating his iconic Beskar armor. The detailing is crisp, the cape helps complete the look, and of course he comes equipped with his trusty blaster. There's nothing overly complicated about this minifigure, but it doesn't need to be. It's instantly recognizable, looks great both on and off the speeder bike, and perfectly represents the galaxy's favorite bounty hunter. And then we have Grogu, and honestly, it's very difficult to look at this little guy without smiling. LEGO has absolutely nailed his appearance. The oversized ears, tiny body, expressive eyes, and the tan robes make him instantly recognizable despite his miniature size. What's particularly nice is that Grogu doesn't feel like an afterthought. He has a dedicated position on the speeder bike, allowing him to travel alongside Din exactly as fans would expect. He's small, simple, adorable, and easily one of the highlights of the set. Taken as a whole, this set succeeds, in my opinion, because it understands exactly what it's trying to be. It's not attempting to compete with massive, collector-focused LEGO Star Wars display models. Instead, it's designed to be affordable, accessible, quick to build, and fun to play with. For younger builders, it's an excellent introduction to LEGO Star Wars. For collectors, it's a nice little display piece featuring two beloved characters. And for content creators like myself, it's the perfect kind of set to build and review in a single sitting. Sometimes, the smallest sets can be some of the most enjoyable, and I think this one is a great example of that. Now, before we wrap things up, let's take a quick look at some of the things I really liked about this set, as well as a few areas where I think it could have been improved. Starting with the positives, one of the biggest strengths of this set is its affordability. LEGO Star Wars can sometimes be an expensive hobby, so it's always nice to see a set that gives fans a chance to pick two popular characters without spending a fortune. Whether you're a younger builder, a casual Star Wars fan, or simply looking for a small addition to your collection, this set is very easy to justify. Another thing that I really enjoyed was just how quick and enjoyable the build was. Sometimes you don't want to have a massive project that takes an entire afternoon to complete, and sometimes you just want to sit down, relax, put something together and enjoy the process. This set does exactly that. It's straightforward without being boring, and before you know it, you've got a finished model sitting on your desk. Of course, getting both the Mandalorian and Grogu in such a small set is a huge bonus. Let's be honest, these two characters are a big part of the appeal here. If you're a fan of the show, it's hard not to appreciate having both of them included in one affordable package. I also think that LEGO did a great job with the speeder bike itself despite the low piece count. It's instantly recognizable, captures the overall look of the vehicle from the series, and feels surprisingly sturdy in the hand. It works well as both a toy and a display piece, which isn't always easy to achieve with smaller builds. As for play value, while the set isn't packed with gimmicks, it still succeeds at what it sets out to do. The Mandalorian can ride the speeder, Grogu has his own place to sit, and it's very easy to recreate scenes from the show or come up with your own adventures. Sometimes simple play features are all you really need. And now, moving on to the negatives. The most obvious one is the size. While I personally enjoy smaller LEGO sets, some builders may find that the experience is almost as over as soon as it begins. If you're looking for a lengthy building session or a complex challenge, this probably isn't going to scratch that itch. It's also worth mentioning that the set has limited play features, which is another point worth mentioning. Aside from placing characters on the speeder and moving them around, there isn't a whole lot going on mechanically. There are no hidden functions, no major moving sections, and no particularly advanced building techniques. The accessories are also fairly minimal. The Mandalorian gets his blaster, which is great, but beyond that, there isn't much included in the way of extra equipment or side builds. A few additional accessories could have been added, a bit more value to the package. And finally, while the speeder bike looks good for its size, more dedicated LEGO Star Wars collectors may find themselves wanting a little bit more detail. That's not necessarily a fault of the set. After all, it's only 58 pieces. But it is something worth keeping in mind if you're used to much larger, more intricate Star Wars builds. Ultimately though, most of these criticisms come down to the fact that this is a small entry-level set. LEGO wasn't trying to create the next Ultimate Collector Series masterpiece here. The goal was to provide a fun, affordable, and accessible LEGO Star Wars experience, and in that respect, I think it succeeds very well. So you're probably wondering what the final verdict is that I have of this set. For what it is, I think LEGO has done a really nice job here. The build is quick, enjoyable, and surprisingly satisfying for such a small piece count. The speeder bike looks great, the included characters are fantastic, and the set does a solid job capturing the charm of the Mandalorian without demanding a huge investment of either time or money. Is it going to become the centerpiece of your LEGO Star Wars collection? Probably not. Is it packed with advanced building techniques and groundbreaking features? Also no. But that's not what this set is trying to be. This is a simple, affordable LEGO Star Wars set that delivers exactly what it promises. A fun build, a recognizable vehicle, and 2 fan-favorite characters in one compact package. For younger fans, casual collectors, or anyone looking for a quick LEGO fix, I think this set is definitely worth considering. My final score is a solid 7.5 out of 10. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think of the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike down in the comments below. Do you own this set? Are you going to pick it up? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on the future LEGO reviews, unboxings, and the other content that I have here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.